Agarwal is the Managing Director of V-Mart Retail, and he now joins us on the show. Thank you so much for taking time out. To begin with, value fashion, that's one of the fastest growing categories. And for you, of course, it holds substantial potential. Do you believe that to a certain extent, the space is getting a bit overcrowded after Zudio's success with now the entry of the likes of Shoppers Stop, Reliance Retail? Are you worried?
Good morning. I think the Indian market and the Indian value market, where there is so much of youth power coming in, the market is too large for anyone in the retail business to get worried about. I think this is a great opportunity for everyone, and people are targeting the right market, and people are coming into the right space, which we have been always boasting about. And I think this is what the opportunity is, and most of the retailers are trying to bring in some of new or the other format. There's definitely a lot of retailers in the market today compared to the last 3-4 years back, and that is definitely getting them some market share is happening on that. But there's no worry. I think there's a huge demand which is waiting for every kind of consumption, and that consumption is also growing as you were speaking, and as we're hearing also the earlier speakers. And I think that's what India is all about. That's what Bharat is all about, and that's the opportunity that we all bring in. And I think the kind of aspiration that Indians are showing up and the youth of India is showing up. This definitely is a great opportunity for everyone in this value fashion market. And this whole social media, this whole fashion, this whole Gen Z which is coming in, this whole consumer base which is getting targeted. This is something which is only to India, and then that is the uniqueness that India has, and the Indian retailer would have in the global scene.
Sure, but you're talking about recovery happening, and you had earlier hinted that Q3 will be the quarter when you will see recovery. Because if I look at the numbers, your losses actually in the quarter gone by expanded to 64 crores, despite the kind of demand momentum you're talking about. When do you envisage your earnings performance to improve then?
I think that those losses that we have reported are a part of our own strategy, and wherein we have acquired some multiple companies, and we have also invested into our online retail. And then that's why, and then the Q2 normally is a little bad quarter, which we always know. But yeah, Q3 is going to be a good profitable quarter. We'll see some good profits coming in. Don't worry about it.
Demand comeback post Diwali. Are you getting a sense that there is more surprise and there is less disappointment?
No, I think there is a demand. There's a good demand that we are seeing versus the previous quarters. The Diwali to Diwali, that we are able to see some growth as well. But still, our expectations are still higher, and we need that growth to go up a little more, which still we are not able to get those. But yeah, I think we are seeing positive signs. We are seeing good recovery coming in.
Give us an absolute number. Let's say how different this Diwali was. What happened to the industry? What happened to your own sales? So that we get a sense.
I think Diwali for most of the retailers has been good because this time it has also been a winter Diwali, because the Diwali has moved into November, mid-November this time. So that also is impacting some of the bringing in some of the winter sales a little more early in the festive period. So festive period to festive period, we are seeing some growth. But overall, when you compare the entire quarter, we may see a little lighter growth is what we are seeing. But yeah, the next 1 month is also very good time which is going to come in, where a lot of weddings are there in the market. So we are expecting a lot to come out of this next 1 month as well.
You're a value retailer. That's what you were specialized in. And when it comes to shopping in a small town, it is almost like in celebration. But the celebration this year has got marred because of high inflation and unseasonal rains. Do you think going forward that effect will normalize?
See, I mean, what I understand, definitely in the small town or for the consumer who are in the lower middle income group, celebrations are the ways of life, and the way they want to live their life, and they want to celebrate the life with their family, with the new clothes, with their new things in the house. So there is celebration which is going in. Definitely, there are constraints, and there are constraints which is not allowing them to celebrate fully. And those constraints we have been seeing for the past 2-3 years, like right from the COVID times. And I think there is a lot of recovery which has happened since then. There is more recovery which is going to come in. There are disturbances which are happening, especially in our heartlands of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. These places we have seen some rainfall issues. The monsoon has also not been very consistent. But still, whatever we have seen, the produce has been good. The farmers are happy. The farmers are getting good prices for their produce. So the overall economy seems to be a little positive, and we are expecting a lot of recovery coming in.
Okay, you you're expecting a lot of recovery coming in, but you'd also taken, a lot of strategic initiatives that you were talking about, change in the buying process, vendor selection, and you have stated in the past about the correction in pricing to attract customers as well. Given all of this, where do you expect your margins to trend from here on?
I think we have been we have been the most valuablest player in the market. We have been catering to that particular mass audience who earns between 20,000 to 50,000 rupees. So the expectation from that particular audience is to get the little real value. And that is where we were specialized and we are specialized in. So of late, for the last 2 years, we saw a lot of inflation coming in. The price went up. We brought it down. We compromised with our margins in the last season, which was the spring summer season. But this particular season, we have now worked on a lot with our vendors, with our sourcing and buying and our designing philosophies and the processes. And we have actually improved on certain margins there as well. And the product lines and the product quality, the product, the designings, the product type. So all of those has got improvement. So all of those results we'll be able to see. Finally, the results will come only when you are able to sell off the entire inventory, and the inventory sell-through has to be also very good. So that's how retail and the fashion business is all about, because it's just not about having the margin in the fresher season, but having the margin in the entire season. And that's what we are also targeting in keeping the inventory in control. So all of these going together, I think we are seeing betterment, and we have seen some betterment. So margins are also going to be improved. The margin will look improved in this particular quarter.
All right, good to have you on board. Thank you so much for taking time out. That's the view coming in from the management of V-Mart, talking about good profitability in Q3 and how they are seeing, as of now, good demand, not worried with respect to competition.